Morning. Made a few lists today. Bitcoin, Cardano, Doge, Polkadot, HBAR, Luna, Mirror Protocol, Stellar Lumens, Link, One USD, and Zcash. Doing a few different viewpoints and seeing where we are currently on the market. On Bitcoin, we made a nice drop setup in this. Oh, we have Sol, which I guess we'll look at today too. Let's check Sol here. We'll look at Sol. So since we got alerted, which is looking like it's retesting the point of control here on this drop where it's been retesting 3 times. The rule of thumb is when something is retested 3 times, touching, it's confirming that support, or if it was touching the top, confirming the resistance. The fact that we have not, since we dropped from this point right here, retested this area, we have been on a downtrend slope trying to find our true support before we reverse. As you can see, this range here is very trappy, showing that Bitcoin can take an additional drop, which will bring us to an additional lower lows. So just be very careful right now. We could have some really good opportunities to buy in the next month. With that being said, it would show that we have a possible breakout down to the 34K range out of this channel if we do not hold in Bitcoin this price range at this point, horizontal line at 38 to 82. So if we fall below there, we have a possibility to see the 37 to 34K range, even as low as a 31K, to hit the double bottom from this previous point right here. So we're going to expect to pretty much mimic that. In this sector right here. We have a breakout confirmation to stay above this channel at 41,838, where this flag pennant is being set up right now. All the price targets once we break out are listed from 46 all the way to 73K. I have a few more targets above, but let's just worry up to getting there and breaking out of the 58 and 68K range, which was the previous targets we needed to get on this upward trend right here. So let's go to Cardano. Starting a new one here. If this is right here where we started, our point of control would be around here. Our support drop would be here. Our resistance line right here. Our breakout zone right here. We're in the accumulation trend channel where we're catching the fear and greed section, where if we don't hold this line price for Cardano at price range 87 cents, we have the possibility of catching these lower trend lines right here. The trend line of focus in this channel is going to be from point A, where it broke out, to point B, where we find the support of that line. The price range dropped below 87, possibility of buy-ins from 54 to 25 cents. Our midline channel would be around here. This is where our over-under line is, where we would be on a positive divergence once we break over this line. That line price will be 164. We'll change this color up to blue, so we know, or yellow, so we know that's our midpoint line. This is our channel, so it'd be like a 0, 025, 50, 786, one line, if you think of it broken down in the fibs. Like I said, you can use GAN boxes if you need for yourself, and set the GAN boxes right where it makes sense to, from the bottom to the top. As you can see, that 025 line is exactly where I placed this green line for you earlier, and pretty close to where the 786 line right there, if we were to adjust it. Minor adjustment on one line, not too bad, right? But we can take that off because we've already pre-mandated all our lines that we needed to focus on. Now we want to find our trends, so we know from here to here is a trend down. So that's our triangle retrace setup. At any point in given time, we have our cross intersection for our breakout right here. So that's your X spot. We're going to look at AVAX also apparently today. We'll take a look at that here. So I created this downtrend for your resistance, price action line, and then this trend line in the green, which is your support trend line down. So as long as you're going up and down, which is this triangle setup, or aka your harmonics, you have a harmonic butterfly from right here to here, running it back to this line, showing you the movement within these channels. So you could use that line and then remove these sectors right here on the uptrend. It'll be easier to follow. But still use the same resistance drop so you can know that this is the main triangle of focus. Now you know the distance of the length of this play is going to last us quite long. From that reversal point right here to this point right here will take us 2,252 days to a possible where we would enter this range again. That would be your exit day, because we expect this, like you said, from the get-go to go from here to this line here. So now you have your major price ranges here. So now you know your best worst possibility by planning, knowing that if you set up a position here for a long, once you hit this price point here, you have a possibility of running it up for 473% for with a loss of 53%. So that would be your upper lower best and worst ratio scenario, unless you go ahead and choose to buy from this point at the 2.5 cent range. That will give you a 1,155% run up. This will take a while now. Don't think that this is just going to happen overnight. This is you accumulating. So when you ever focus on a trade, focus on a few tickers, but focus on a long time frame. Because if you imagine this will take 1,795 days just to make this 10x. All right. Let's take a look at Doge. Doge did very well on for a meme coin this year. Did a nice escape line at this price point. This was your breakout point right here. So this is where we expect to find our support to the base full retrace. This will be your big block of resistance. So we're gonna worry about this block sometime later on. Or this will probably be your focus channel when you're up here. Now, this is your focus breakout channel from here yonder. Again, you find your exit line and your support. This is where you intend to go. This is your current divergence, where you could set yourself up a wave movement up this pennant flag in this direction before you actually break out. Major resistance point will be this triangle set up here to this line. So, you know, when you see a double top and it's supposed to break out, but then it drops and sets you up, because what really happens is this drop that most people don't account for from the top takes a correction. So what you expected to do in an ABC impulse pattern here for a run up takes a correction on you and does this. Fakes you out and then drops you back to this double bottom range. So be careful, because what could be a breakout could trap you in this range right here and give you an inverse head and shoulder before this run up here. So watch out for your corrections. Always know your limitations. The fact that you have a run up here, understand that there's double tops, double bottoms. Understand how those runs and works, because just that little information can help you in your trade in the longer time frame. On to Polkadot. I got into Polkadot. The last time I think it dropped down to 14 cents. Or sorry, $14. The last time I got in, rode it. One of my buddies, Joshua Jake, who is one of the Patreons I follow, and really energetic person, great vibe, and I respect what he does because he's such a great promoter. So I've been vibing with him and his team, and they've been super nice, So I really like what they've created as well. So I've continued to vibe. So we set these channels up, create our fibs, all our lines of focus, create our parameters, triangles, wedges, cups, handles. Figure out what you like. What's your favorite play? Stick to it. Find your forte. Whether it's channels, moving average, figure something that works for you. With this triangle, all you do is trying to figure out, where are we going to drop? We're going to drop at this zone right here to pick up right here. Right? Possible in 974 days, which is about 3 years, which is about 2025 for our all-time high, to make a 798% runner-up. It's not a bad run-up, huh? Or with a retracement point at this current point, when we run up from June 1st, we could drop all the way down here till this date on a year later. You could be, this whole thing could fake out up here, give you a triple top, fake out, and then bring you back down here for a nice retracement double bottom from point A to point B. And all it is really doing a cycle. What comes up must come down eventually. And you have to have a major double bottom before you retest a run up. So with that being said, you have a possibility, once it gets to this point, to create this channel. And that's where this comes in. So now you have all your price points to focus on from low to high. And of course, if you're trying to scalp, all you have to do is catch your intraday levels. You have to switch up. You have to go through all the time frames, because that's how you're going to know what's going on. I like looking at large because I like to trade and swing on differently rather than making every movement. I'd rather make a 5-6 candlestick movement than worrying about what each candlestick is doing. It's easier for me, per se, that way. So now we got through dot. So we don't spend about 5-10 minutes. So you really can, set your plays up, save it. And the fact that we have this playing till 2024, these levels, you don't really have to look at this. I have 2 years to play this chart out. Not bad though. All right, we got Hedera hash graph HBAR, a nice one I've been following as well. Let's set up our levels. So we know what our parameters that we're messing with. As you see, most of my trend lines are focused when I made my fibs is focused on 4 deviation points of Fibonacci's. Kind of focusing on the major lines while focusing on the intraday levels. Because this has an open spread, we'll use a GAN fan to catch some of these levels for display. Viewing these as possible ranges of importance to me. Let's see. Find the retracement point, support resistance, then find the top and bottom supports. This continues down to here. Possible run up to here, maybe here, before we go here. Because you need that spring bounce up movement. That spring bounce up will be supported by this trend line that broke off here. It's pretty much where you catch this bounce zone from here. We'll get the spring from here to either here to start that run up. But if this was a cap bounce that where you're actually getting your double bottom from this breakout line right here, this would be your actual lower lows before your swing up, giving you a possibility if you went from here to say here 330, but if it was that we took this drop here and say even to this section here in 548 days, that's 2,500% runner from this price range right here to this price range right here. These right now from 4 cents to 34 cents is your trend range, with a possible breakup to the 55-cent to 66-cent range. That's about it for HBAR. We're going to jump onto Luna. Luna I've already done. Just give a little explanation of Luna. Luna's been staying within this channel. You're catching this double bottom at this current point drop that we're taking right now that happened over here. We're trying to catch that same double bottom exit right here to make this run up, have a higher low for the breakout. So you're trying to focus on the channels here to this finish point. Will give us a possible from this blue line to this exit right here, 3 days, 8 hours for a 32% runner. But you have a major pullback at this price range here. So be careful for a double top reversement trap once you reach this price here. this to this will still give you a 24%. So you run from a 32% to a 24%. A lot of y'all ask, to DCA down. So if you know that you've taken a retracement here, you've peaked at this line, right? And dropped. You went back up. But because of here, in this range, you had a resistance. Resistance causing you to drop. So you know that these, once you go down the top, this is how you start DCA. You sell. If it breaks here, you sell another percentage. Breaks here, sell another percentage, till you found your reversal. Doji, buy, sell, buy again on the baseline, and then, but you're only buying portions. You never go 100. You buy in portions. So you would have set a second buy here and a possible third buy at the 75, 71 range to play this back up to the 104 range. If you even had the possibility to hit the 71 range right here and ran this back up to the 104 range, that's a nice 44% run up. Okay, finish with HBAR there. Or sorry, Luna, my apologies. Let's check out MIR protocol. I just started this, made a very, very healthy wave run. But as you can see, testing this point of control drop right here. Failure to do so brings you down to this play right here. You have a support line right here for this channel up. If you bounce here, this would be a very nice breakout point because you would curve a little bit under to run up here. This point right here to this point right here is one of your end zones. Yep. As you can see, prep, exit, target, exit. If I wanted to even run this all the way here, that would be my target run up. The length of this play could last as long before it breaks out to that range from current point A to here. A total of 9 days, 20 hours, and needing of 2.109 million volume in this to make it from bottom to top. So if I was to focus on price ranges, I have my drop channel at 157 to 108. If it fails, the price channel at 168. We already are at the very tedious channel from 199 to 168, which is a channel this found resistance at. This is your trap channel. Breakout of that channel brings you up to 280. Confirmation breakout at 321 to retest for a 453. This goes all the way up to 578 for this trend possibility. All right, XLM. XLM is still kind of early, beginning stages, doing its nice cycle in this bell curve. Possible catching it around the 10 cent to 36 cents is what the channel is that it's playing in. Now, if you're playing just this particular channel right here from bottom to top, that's a 288% runner. Imagine it catching it bottom to this top. That's a 527. Now imagine catching it from bottom to this top. That's a 705%. So I've given you a total of almost 1500% run up in the next 3 plays. You have drop to setup, down to drop, where you could either go up from here to do this, retest your drop right here, even down to this line, and to finish off like this. Take a while, but as you can see, it's going to be a really nice run up if you guys finish this play out. All right, so Solana has, man, with the NFT game, has made some great movements, ran up, but after that cycle, it made a nice, retracement, inverse cup and handle on the long term right here. As you can see, went up, found its retracement point right there, fell back into this health curve, and about to retrace this entry point right here. You have support entries starting from 76, drop, breakout at 90, which is now what the line you're retesting to break out, failure to do those 76. 82 to 76 is your buy entry. 103 for a breakout retest to break out of this lower channel at 119. Once you break out of 119, you go from 119 to 59, then 159 to 201, 201 to 244, 244 to 275. Those are the next levels up. Again, none of this, my friends, are financial advice. I expect you to do your own research, do your own homework. Just take the technical analysis that I do, the craziness I do. If something you understand and you want to incorporate it in your trade, do that. But never take, not even from me or anybody else, no matter how good they are, how good their trades, never take their full 100%. Always, always invest in yourself and in your own research. If you see where these drops are going, it's pretty much accumulating for this zone right here. 41 to 78. And you say, no, it's not going to happen, but how did we get from 244 back down to 76? Don't say that this $30 drop is not going to happen when we just took a $180 drop, pretty much. So just, set your alerts, set your alarm. It's better to be ready than to be like, dang, I never even saw that coming, right? Hope for the best, expect for the worst. That's what my mama always told me. All right, here we have Link. Link take a nice run up to about $50, $55 this year. Has been retracing since April. Made a nice run up retest drop from this point at July 5th of last year and retested run up until November 15th before we started retracing again for the new year. From that point on, you had an inverse head and shoulders forming where we could find the entry, like I said, from 1194 to 828. Bounce, find a resistance at 23. Bounce back down around 17 to 11 before making a major breakout to the possible $56 on the long-term frame. This run up right there to $56 will give you a 586% runner. All right, now we got one USDT. This one made a great movement, a double top run up from the breakout area range right here. Your breakout point of control, which is also your support line, will be off of this channel right here at price point 14 cents. We're holding that line right now, as you see with that wick. 11 cent was the perfect entry from the breakout point where it wicked down right here with a resistance line at 36 cents. Trying to catch this play again because everything cycles, so if you're catching the wave, catch it, catch a sweet spot around the 7 cent range and then running it up. This play right here, by doing this run up here from this retrace point, can give you a possibility of, say, from here to here, 385%. This could be as far as 280 days, maybe possible 175 days. But you know, you have a major pullback. Watch the fake out at 23. So wherever you enter, 23 would be my major first pullback sign. So, all right, here's Zcash. A very nice coin. Set its parameters. It broke out of this range right here at price point 105, which it has bounced once it broke out 1, 2 for the third time to finding it as it's one of the major true supports. You have a possible entry here to get it around the range 72. Maybe not, to catch this double bottom from that happen right here. But it is at a healthy range where we currently are. But sometimes things can get better because that is the base of your channel. So if you do reach that channel right there, and say we go to yonder right here for 600 days for a possible 399% run up. But again, with the fact that we usually have a pullback resistance at the 50 line, we'll probably play this line up to 192 for a 160% run up before we have another pullback here and creating this run up all the way here. This run up here, possibility from this drop point right here to here, then a possible run up to there. Let's just say safety here. Let's not even get overzealous. For 152% run up. Again, if we had a long position, our long position was made for a 771% runner to a 35% loss. I hope you enjoyed that. Oh, AVAX. AVAX popped up earlier. So let's take a look at AVAX before I go. And see where it's at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I'll give you 13 playlists that charts that we can focus on. Can't really count Bitcoin, I guess, since Bitcoin was something we worked on. Look at these old charts I did. My last entry was 39, exited at 85. It ran up to 147. But if you create this play right here, let's find out what our parameters are. All right, from the range point right here all the way here is our sweet spot buy zone. We have our breakout flag right here. Finding support, bounce here. As you see, we're holding above this range, though we could see a weakness because this right here looks like a curvature, right? This, if this doesn't hold this, can curve you down to this. So if we place our forecast line from the top to the base, so 153% runner in 140 days, or from when this started, this was a 94% drop in 238 days, which from current position, we are already halfway through that point from here to here, leaving us 93% in 140 days drop. And that's it. Hope y'all enjoyed. Like I said, none of this is financial advice. This is just me taking notes. This is how I make my plays, do a little bit of charting, and how I set my trades. Hope it helped you kind of see different ways to look at a chart. Some more simplistic, some more technical than others. But I showed you several different styles that you can do, where it's not too overbearing, and then you'll still have enough information. Like I said, I pretty much did two things here. did a channel accumulation, channel trend up, and then did a moving average slope, and then just found my exits and entries, set up my trade parameters with the horizontal resistance line, which we can do again with a trend Fibonacci, knowing if this is my top, this is my base right here. Run it up here, I have all my intermittent prices now. So if I'm to focus on pricing, here we are. And that'll be it. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for hanging out.